मजबूरी नू आन जान ती पसूड़ी नू जहर बने हाँ तेरी पी जावा मैं पूरी नू रावच बावच ओनू लुका मैं कोई मैनू ना रोके मेरे पूरा भी ना हो गए
ताला जुम के आ जाएंगे। अरे यार इनसे पूछ लेंगे तो हो जाएगा।
काफी पढ़ाई काम नहीं जी आप बोले तो मेरा नाम नहीं pills pop I let the weed smoke sometimes just talking does not make the pain go तू ही आग तू ही उस पत्थर की बारिश मैं वो खाली हवेली जिसकी तू अकेली वारिस तू ही छाँव तू ही धूप रंगों के साथ रूप तू जितनी खूबसूरत उससे कहीं ज्यादा दूर मैं लिखना छोड़ दूं जो तेरे बारे मैं कलम तोड़ दूं और तू से आही में बसारे सारे है जमाने को खुद से परेशान वो पढ़ती हुई किताबें मैं पढ़ता हूँ इंसान भी क्या चीज है एक में वो इंसान भी क्या चीज है मैं कल गुजरा फिर उधर से तो याद आ गई चीज है तेरा नंबर नहीं है ये सिरी है ये बात करने को है बस ये माइक्रोफोन वही कागज वही कलम लहजे सख्त दिल नरम बदबख्त बस करो उदासी हर तरफ झूठे तेरे भरम इस बात में तू बरहम और हम
मैंने ओरिएंटेशन को गाना नहीं देने के जंप प्रेशर से ना
यार आपने गाने ये लगाओ
झंझरा भी करके लौटते रहे
अरे कोई लंबी वीडियो लगा दो अपना बच कर जब जैसा लगा उसको छाट छाट के लगा
वाले आ तू तड़पाया लौट के फिर तू कदे ना आया अखा दे सादे पैर तेरे करके छाता पूरी खैर तेरे करके मानू हवा माशो की बैठी तेनू बिना घर तेरे करके तेरा इश्क है बढ़दा तेरा आवे मौसम भी ठंडदा मैंने के साडे शौक ते चादों में जाम जी कबूल फरजाद रहे लो है तेरी तेरे वास्ते आया एक मुंडा सरी तेरे वास्ते बाहरी विचों के कादा रंगी तू थाई तेरे वास्ते मेरी तेरी दीद बेशकीमती शैल खरीद बेशकीमती कोई पिछलिया जन्मां दी खट्टी सी जो असल आ बन के उम्मीद बेशकीमती
ये क्या हो रहा है? 10 राउंड्स साइकिलिंग डेली कल से फिर से
ਮਾਝੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੋੜ ਚੱਕੀ ਖੜਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜਾਣਦਾ ਆ ਕੌਣ ਕਾਸ ਤੋਂ ਕੁਛ ਇੱਥੇ ਚਾਂਦੀ ਚਮਕਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕੁਛ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫੜ ਥੱਲੇ ਲਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕੁਛ ਕਨਿਆਏ ਇੱਥੇ ਭੁੱਖੇ ਫੇਮਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਅੱਗੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਮੁਸੀਬਤ ਤਾਂ ਮਰਦਾਂ ਤੇ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਐ ਦਬੀ ਨਾ ਤੂੰ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਸਵਾਦ ਲੈਂਦੀ ਐ ਨਾਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਸਤੇ ਤੇ ਤੂੰ ਤੁਰਿਆ ਇੱਥੇ ਬਦਨਾਮੀ ਹਾਈ ਰੇਟ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੰਟਰੋਵਰਸੀ ਕਰੇਟ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਧਰਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਤੇ ਡਿਬੇਟ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਸੱਚ ਬੋਲੇਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਲੂ 295 ਜੇ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਪੁੱਤੇ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੰਟਰੋਵਰਸੀ ਕਰੇਟ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਧਰਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਤੇ ਡਿਬੇਟ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਸੱਚ ਬੋਲੇਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਲੂ 295 ਜੇ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਪੁੱਤੇ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਅੱਜ ਕਈ ਵਿਚੋਂ ਸੱਭਿਆਚਾਰ ਲੁੱਟ ਕੇ ਜਣਾ ਖਣਾ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਏ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਲੁੱਟ ਕੇ ਇੰਜ ਲੱਗੇ ਰੱਬ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਹੱਥ ਖੜੇ ਕਰ ਗਿਆ ਪੜਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਸੁਬਾ ਅਖਬਾਰ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਸੁਪਨੇ ਪੁੱਤਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਭੇਦ ਖੋਲੀ ਦੇ ਲੀਡਰ ਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੱਕਦਾਰ ਖੋਲੀ ਦੇ ਉਹ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਵਾਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾ ਜਾਉਣ ਤੇ ਸਤੀਵਿਆ ਰੱਖੇ ਬੜੇ ਫਿਰਦੇ ਉਹ ਮਾਂ ਬੋਲੀ ਦੇ ਉਹ ਝੂਠ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦੇ ਫੈਕਟ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਚੋਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਦੇ ਸਮਾਜ ਸੇਵੀ ਨੇ ਸੱਚ ਵਾਲਾ ਪਾਣਾ ਪਾਜ ਲੋਕ ਲੁੱਟਦੇ ਸਜ਼ਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਛੇਤੀ ਮੇਟ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਤੇ ਕੰਟਰੋਵਰਸੀ ਕਰੇਟ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਧਰਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਤੇ ਡਿਬੇਟ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਸੱਚ ਬੋਲੇਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਲੂ 295 ਜੇ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਪੁੱਤੇ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਤੇ ਕੰਟਰੋਵਰਸੀ ਕਰੇਟ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਧਰਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਤੇ ਡਿਬੇਟ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਸੱਚ ਬੋਲੇਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਮਿਲੂ 295 ਜੇ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਪੁੱਤੇ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਆਹ ਲੋਕ ਵੱਟੇ ਮਾਰਦੇ ਆ ਪੜੇ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਤੇ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਮਾਵਾਂ ਦੁੱਖਾਂ ਤੇ
ਵੱਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਵੈਲੀ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਘੁੰਮੇ ਜੇ ਬਾਂਝ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਨਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਮੇਰੀ ਹਾਂ ਪੰਜੇ ਬਾਂਝ ਕਿਦਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਰੱਤ ਮੂੰਹ ਫੜ ਲਾ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਸ਼ਰਿਆਮ ਤੇਰੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਚ ਜਾ ਤੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਦੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਦੀ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਕੀ ਦਸਾਇਆ ਗੱਲ ਦੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਦੇ ਪਰ ਯਾਰਾ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਕਰਦਾ ਪਵਾਂ ਛੱਪੀਆਂ 26 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਜਵਾਨੀ ਬੈਠੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਮਝੀ ਨਾ ਭੋਲੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਪਤਾ ਏ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਗੈਪ ਆਏ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਬਣ ਰੋਮੀਓ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਚੰਡੀਗੜ੍ਹ ਮੈਪ ਸਮਝੀ ਨਾ ਭੋਲੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਪਤਾ ਏ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਗੈਪ ਆਏ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਬਣ ਰੋਮੀਓ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਮਿਲੇ
ये मतलब
This is Dave, head of marketing at a ketchup company, about to use Grammarly to
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲੱਭਿਆ ਨਾ ਵੀ ਮਾੜਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਲੰਮੀਆਂ ਕਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲੱਭਿਆ
एक गाना चला दो प्लीज बच्चे बच्चे प्लीज एक
इस दुकान
आओ छट के बंदूक हाथ में
ये चला दे रहा चला गाना चला पंजाबी सबसे सबको बेस्ट है
Well, this is Jazzy, she watching.
ਜਿਹਨੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਦਿਲ ਲੁੱਟਿਆ ਜਿਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਾਰ ਸੁੱਟਿਆ ਲੱਕ ਪਤਲਾ ਬਲੌਰੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਨੇ
Akash Kumar Singh. Attendance please. चलो कोई बात नहीं। अभिषेक चौधरी, अदीबा हुसैन, अदनान दानिश, अदनान मुईज, आफिया नाहिद, अफजा खान, अलमान हैदर, अनम परवीन, अरीबा फातिमा, असलान हनीफ जान, आतिफ महराज खान, अतूफ़ा अतूफ़ा, अवान राशिद, अयान खान, अयान खान नहीं है, अयाज अहमद, आयशा हुसैन, दानिश रहमान, दानिश राणा, दानिश राणा, दानिया दिलशाद, दरक्षा हाशमी, फहद अली, फहद तारिक, फरदीन खान, फिजा अरशद, गुलशाद, हैदर रियाज खान, हन्नान इलाही, हर्ष चौधरी, हसनैन समद उस्मानी, इफना इब्राहिम, खुदा बेकार, ईशा खान, ईशा नहीं है, कैफ खान, करीमा गौर, कौनैन एजाज, कुलसूम रशीद, मन्नान अब्दुल्ला, मोहम्मद औसाफ, मोहम्मद जुनैद, मोहम्मद यूसुफ अबुल हसन, मोहम्मद जीशान आलम, मेहताब हामिद, महविश मंजूर, मुआरिज उमर, मुहद्दिसा फातिमा, मोहम्मद ईशा अजीज, मोहम्मद ईशा अजीज, मोहम्मद अब्दुल्ला कुरैशी, मोहम्मद आतिफ, मोहम्मद अयान मूसवी, मोहम्मद दानिश अंसारी, मोहम्मद हमजा इम्तियाज, मोहम्मद हसन अंसारी, मोहम्मद जावेद अली, मोहम्मद जैद खान, मोहम्मद फैजान अंसारी, मुनीर हुसैन, नमन कुमार प्रजापति, नेहा राणा, नितिका सेठी, नौरुल खान, नुवा इशरत, साबका अंजुम, सफीर अहमद, साजिद खान, सानिया मुख्तार, सानिया नदीम खान, सारा निगत, साइमा सैफी, शाह फैज खान, साकिब अहमद, सिमरन कौर, सूफिया परवीन, सैयद अब्दुल्ला, सैयद अंजार इमाम, सैयद मीरान हैदर, तहमील अली, तहसीन कायनात नहीं है, तालिब तनवीर, तस्बिया जावेद, तुषार वर्धन, उमैद विकार, उमर अनवर खान, उरोज जाकिर, वसीम आलम, जुल्फिकार अली खान, जुल्फिकार अली, वसीम आलम है नहीं है, आकिब, हुमा खालिद, इकरा खान, मोहम्मद कसीम मंजर, मोहम्मद शादाब सरवर, मोहम्मद अरबाब, आसिफ अली, मोहम्मद आसिफ अली, नदीम अहमद, उमर बिन अजीम, रियान परवेज, साइम अली, शुएब सैफी, सैयद तारिश हुसैन, तबरेज अली, विनीत राठौर, वसीम अहमद, यूसुफ सिद्दीकी, जैद अली खान, इंशालुद्दीन, मारिया हसन, आरिफ खान, हुजैफा नहीं है, हुजैफा
आप रेडी करता है
शुरू कर देना सर।
Ladies and gentlemen, respected professors, new friends and future leaders, a very good morning to all of you. As we gather here today, I'm humbled and honored to extend a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. I, Alia Bushra,
I have Ahmed.
has a distinct privilege to stand before you as we inaugurate a new chapter of academic excellence and personal growth. So let us begin this orientation with open hearts and minds.
Now, I would like to welcome our very own Dr. Abdullah Sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, Jamia Hamdard. Let's extend a warm round of applause to Dr. Abdullah Sir. Sir, please.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all of you. I hope all of you are fine and good, mashallah, alhamdulillah. I think you should smile. So, and I think you should know that smiling is a charity, because when you talk with other people with a smiling face, so you don't know maybe another person in a trouble. So that is why he or she would become happy. So that is why there should be a smile on your face, and you should listen carefully to the person in front of you. So today we are going to discuss some tricks in Excel, and also how can we create our YouTube channel and how can we promote our YouTube channel. So before we discuss some tricks in Excel, so I would like to give some background why we need Excel and why we need the information. Obviously, we are going to get the information from this Excel program. So Dr. Zakir Hussain sir already discussed about the background of Excel, and he also give you information about the management information system, and he will also teach you management information system in your very first semester. So first you need to understand what is this management information system. I hope in a simple words you can say there may be a kind of information system used by the management, but what is the purpose to use use this information system by the management? Obviously for the decision making in the organization, and where in which areas the management will take the decision. Obviously there are different areas like different different managerial areas like finance, marketing, HR, operation, and all these different things. So obviously a kind of information system used by the management for decision making in the different managerial areas of management like finance, marketing, HR, operation. And it consists, there may be the different components of management information system, like it will consist of software and hardware. Obviously today is the age of information technology, and you know about the software and hardware, and we are continuously upgrading our software and hardware. So we are saying management information system will use the components of information technology. And what are the components of information technology? So they are basically 5 components. The people, obviously the people who will work. That I told you that it consists of software and hardware. Management software use the software as well as hardware. So basically that if we have any hardware, so but without software we cannot use any hardware. Suppose we have a laptop and SSD, hard drive, laptop, screen, motherboard, and each and everything, all the physical devices. But we don't have the application interface. How can we access the hardware? So we are basically use the hardware, we are accessing the hardware through the software program. Similarly, if you flip the side, for each and every hardware, we need the software. And like for each and every hardware, like for example, we have a printer. So without driver, we cannot use the printer. So for each and every hardware, we need the software. And for the software, without hardware, we cannot use the software. So these are the different components, like people who will work on the software and hardware, and obviously there will be the database where we store. And I hope you know the difference between the data and information. Can anybody tell me? Yes, very good. So data are the raw facts and figures, but we need to analyze, we need to apply the mathematical models, mathematical formulas, and we can extract the information from the data. Okay, so after we get the data, this information would be used by the management in the different decision areas. So but the one more important component of management information system is, if we suppose there are 100 employees, and I am the data analyst in the organization. I have analyzed the data, and I have converted the data into information. So suppose another person is responsible to take the decision making in the organization. So I think obviously we will say the information whichever I have analyzed and extracted from the data, that should be reached to the concerned person. That is why we need the network. That is why maybe wired media, wireless media, fiber optic cable, wireless, Wi-Fi, local area network, wired technique, wireless technique. So networking management, network is one of the component. We have the database management system. We have the people, we have the HR. For people, we have HR management. Then we have software management, we have hardware management. Okay, so and one more important thing is why we need the information. So why we need to extract the information? Obviously for the decision making. But you know about the marketing, there was a old concept of selling. Now there is a newer concept is marketing. The old strategy was push strategy. Push means you are going to pushing the product or services towards the consumer. Now you attract the consumers. That is pull strategy. आप attract कर रहे हैं ना. This is pulling strategy. So how can you pull the consumers? When you will launch the product and services based on the taste and preferences of the consumers. So how you come to know about the taste and preferences of the consumers? When you have the information. तभी taste and preferences तभी पता चलेंगे जब आपको information होगी. और information कब? When you have analyzed the data. And जब when you and data कैसे आएगा? When you will get, how you will get the data? When you will collect the data from the different resources, maybe the online platform, maybe through offline questionnaire. So there may be the different platforms. You basically first you will conduct the market research. You will go to the consumer, you collect the data, and after you will collect data, obviously you will analyze the data and you will use this information and to design and develop the product and services based on the taste and preferences of the consumers. Now today is the age of information technology. Google knows everything about you. YouTube knows everything about you. You know the search history, your watch history. So obviously you will get the information based on your search history, watch history. Because Google is also earning, YouTube is also earning. Google will not earn if you will not watch the advertisement. So when will you watch the advertisement? When will you? Obviously when you will play any video on the YouTube. तभी तो प्ले जब आप एडवर्टीजमेंट तो तभी देखेंगे ना जब आप वीडियो यूट्यूब देखें पे कोई भी वीडियो देखें. व्हेन यू विल प्ले एनी वीडियो ऑन द यूट्यूब ऑब्वियसली यू विल वॉच द एडवर्टीजमेंट. सो व्हेन दैट इज व्हाट इज द रीजन व्हेन विल यू प्ले द वीडियो? व्हेन यू विल गेट द वीडियो बेस्ड ऑन योर चॉइस एंड प्रेफरेंसेस. वही वीडियो आप देखेंगे जो आपको अच्छा लगता होगा. एंड गूगल ऑलरेडी नो अबाउट योर टेस्ट एंड प्रेफरेंसेस. On the basis of your search history, watch history. तो गूगल को पता है ना आपकी सर्च हिस्ट्री, वॉच हिस्ट्री क्या है. तो उसी के बेस पे वो वीडियो आपको दिखाएगा. अगर आप कोई और वीडियो दिखाएगा जो आपको अच्छा नहीं लगता तो वो क्यों आप प्ले करेंगे और क्यों गूगल कमाए, कैसे अर्निंग होगी गूगल. सो दैट इज व्हाई वी आर सेइंग बेस्ड ऑन द choice and preferences of the consumers, we can design and develop the product and services for the consumers. So that is why we are saying based on the search history, watch history, we are pushing the advertisement toward the consumers and we are attracting consumers. So that is why we are discussing the Excel, because when you will go in the corporate, maybe you will work in the different database. Maybe you will work in the marketing. Obviously, there will be marketing database, maybe related to the sales. Maybe you will go in the different field, maybe HR. There will be HR database, name information related to the percentage and all these things. Maybe you will in the finance. Obviously, there will be the data related to the financial data. You need to analyze. You need to prepare the graph. Is some function A1 to the last diagonally. I can give the reference in a diagonal. Diagonal समझते हैं ना rectangle में. एक diagonal कैसे होता है? जैसे there are four sides like this. तो diagonal ऐसे होगा. समझिए? तो I will give the reference for this sum function in a diagonal manner. Like here here the name of this cell is A1. यहाँ पे जो सबसे पहली सेल है उसका क्या नाम है? A1 है. जो लास्ट सेल, लास्ट कॉलम में लास्ट सेल, दिस इज B8. समझ में आ रहे हैं? B8 ये है ना. दिस इज B कॉलम एंड दिस इज 8th रो. 8वीं रो है और ये B कॉलम है. तो इस सेल का रेफरेंस देना है. तो दिस इज B8. कहां से देना है? A1 से. So A1 colon to B8. Now you can see I have written B in upper case. मैंने अब की बार upper case में लिख दिया. It will not, it doesn't matter. So you can see the answer. Similarly, I can include one more number, like in any number apart from this table. I can give the reference, comma, C1 and close the bracket. So another table, comma, another table, comma, another cell. So I can give the reference in this manner. I hope you have understood how can we give the reference of a cell and how can we give the reference of a table. I hope कि आप सबको समझ में आ गया होगा कि cell का reference, all these references are relative references. I will tell you later what is the difference between relative reference and absolute reference. मतलब relative reference और एब्सोल्यूट रेफरेंस में डिफरेंस क्या होगा, ये आपको अभी मैं आपको अभी आगे बता देता हूँ और उससे फर्क क्या पड़ेगा वो भी समझ में आ जाएगा आपके. बट आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड हाउ कैन वी गिव द रेफरेंस ऑफ अ सेल. लाइक एनी सेल का रेफरेंस तो देना पड़ेगा ना. इट मीन्स दैट वी नीड टू पुट द वैल्यू वॉट एवर इज देयर इन दिस सेल. जो भी वैल्यू C1 में पड़ा हो वो यहां रख दो. आप डायरेक्टली यहां पे कॉमा 0.6 रख देंगे तब भी आंसर आ जाएगा. नाउ वी आर गिविंग द रेफरेंस हियर, दैट मींस प्लीज पुट द वैल्यू व्हाटएवर इज देयर इज इन द C1 सेल. आई होप यू आर गेटिंग व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन यू. समझ में आ रही है ना बात जो मैं कह रहा हूं आपसे. जो भी रेफरेंस दे रहे हैं हम ये कह रहे हैं कि ये जो वैल्यू है उस C1 सेल में वो आप पुट कर दीजिए. अदरवाइज आई कैन आल्सो डायरेक्टली राइट द वैल्यू in that particular sum function. मैं डायरेक्टली 0.6 रख दूं वहां पे कॉमा रख के तब भी आंसर आ जाएगा. समझ में आ रही है ना बात. मतलब डायरेक्टली सम फंक्शन के अंदर 0.6 रख दूं, जैसे मैंने अभी बताया था ना, इक्वल साइन रख के 5 + 4 लिखूंगा तब भी आंसर आ जाएगा 9. और मैं A1 और A2, A1 प्लस इक्वल साइन A1 प्लस A2, तब obviously I will get the answer. So this will be the, when I will press the enter, obviously I will get the answer. ठीक है. So I hope similarly the average. अच्छा, average का मतलब होता है मीन होता है sum of all values divided by the total number of values. This is the, we can call it mean or average. इसको आप क्या बोलते हैं? मीन बोलते हैं, मीन वैल्यू और एवरेज वैल्यू. Summation of all the values divided by the total number of values, that is average value. तो आप काउंट कर लीजिए. पहले तो आप देखेंगे, काउंट करेंगे भाई ये इतनी सारी वैल्यूज हैं. इसके लिए काउंट फंक्शन भी होता है. इक्वल काउंट फंक्शन मतलब हम ये कह रहे हैं कि यहां से लेकर सारी वैल्यूज आ जाएंगी. समझ में आ रहे हैं? A1 to C8 मैं कह रहा हूं सारी वैल्यूज को काउंट कर लो और जो वैल्यू यहां है इसको यहां आएगा जो ब्लैंक, इट विल नॉट काउंट द ब्लैंक वैल्यूज. तो जो ऑब्वियसली इट विल गिव यू द टोटल नंबर वैल्यूज इन द टोटल नंबर ऑफ फील्ड वैल्यूज, क्योंकि ब्लैंक को तो काउंट नहीं करने वाला है, जो भरी हुई सेल है उन्हीं को काउंट करेगा. तो इसको इससे डिवाइड कर देंगे तो एवरेज आ जाएगा. ये क्या करेगा? काउंट करेगा ना. तो इसको इससे जब डिवाइड करेंगे तो क्या होएगा? एवरेज क्या आ जाएगा? एवरेज. ठीक है. यहां पे देखेंगे इक्वल साइन दिस डिवाइडेड दिस. ठीक है, दिस इज द एवरेज. अब आप देख लीजिए एवरेज का, एक एवरेज को डायरेक्टली मैं अगर अप्लाई कर दूं सेम आंसर आ गया. 426 सेम आ गया ना. डिफरेंस क्या है? मैंने पहले जैसे सम फंक्शन क्या काम करता है, डायरेक्टली सम कर देता. आपको A1 + A2 + A3 लिखने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती ना, नहीं पड़ती ना. तो यही हम बोल रहे हैं कि एवरेज में आपको डिवाइड करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. यू विल डायरेक्टली गेट द मीन वैल्यू. सो अच्छा, काउंट से मैंने काउंट कर लिया टोटल नंबर ऑफ फील्ड वैल्यूज, क्योंकि आई नो द how if I need to calculate the mean value, first I will sum all the different values divided by the total number of values. तो सम कर लिया सम फंक्शन से और काउंट कर लिया काउंट फंक्शन से, उनको डिवाइड कर दिया, उससे भी सेम आंसर आया और एवरेज यू कैन सी द आंसर इज सेम. So basically we don't have much time, but you know this is the sum function, average function, maximum function basically give you the maximum value. Just I am quickly show you how I will get the maximum value. Like this is I need to get the maximum value. I will write the max total. I will give the reference of all the cells. Like A1 to C10. Okay, so this is the maximum value. Now similarly we have the minimum value to get the minimum values from the selected cells. Okay, so this is the minimum value. So for maximum, in order to get the maximum value we have the max function max only. In order to get the minimum value, not you need to not to write minimum, पूरा minimum नहीं लिखना, only min min. So we have max function, we have min function. One other thing I want to tell you so that you will understand the difference between the relative reference and the absolute reference. So I hope you know the difference between the min function and max function. Now I have written the formula in the C1 cell. C1 cell. आप देख लीजिए, you can check. I have written the formula in the C1 cell. C1 cell में लिखा है ना, कहीं और तो नहीं लिखा. What is the formula? A1 equal sign A1 plus B1. So I will get the value in the C1 cell. So just I will. There are two things. I will double click on this sign. Plus sign आपको आएगा जब आप when you will hover there, move the cursor bottom right side में जब आप जाएंगे, कर्सर मूव करेंगे, इस तरह का प्लस, यू विल गेट दिस साइन, इस तरह का यू विल आपको इस तरह का साइन विजिबल होगा. समझ में आ रही है बात? तो जब इस पर डबल क्लिक करेंगे, डबल क्लिक, ठीक है, नीचे तक वैल्यूज आ गई. अनदर मेथड है, आपको डबल क्लिक नहीं करना, यहीं तक चाहिए वैल्यू, ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप, पकड़ा ड्रैग कर दिया यहां तक, ठीक है, और यहां डबल क्लिक करेंगे तो नीचे तक. अच्छा, यहां पे मैंने क्या लिखा था, एक चीज जो मैं आपको क्विकली बताना चाह रहा हूं, द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द रिलेटिव रेफरेंस एंड एब्सोल्यूट रेफरेंस इज दैट इन द फर्स्ट C1 सेल आई हैड रिटन इक्वल साइन A1 प्लस B1, A1 प्लस B1 ही लिखा था ना. तो C2 सेल में क्या आना चाहिए था? A1 प्लस B1 नहीं आया ना. क्या फार्मूला आया? कुछ और ही आ गया. देख लेते हैं क्या आया डबल क्लिक करने पर. A2 प्लस B2 आ गया यहाँ. C3 सेल में A3 प्लस B3, इस तरह. सिमिलरली इन द A4 सेल वी हैव गॉट A4 प्लस B4. मतलब क्या था कि A3 जो कॉलम था A1, A तो आया बट 2 की जगह 1 की जगह 2 हो गया, रो चेंज हो गई. जब रो में हमने ड्रैग किया तो रो भी चेंज हो गई. तो दैट वाज नॉट फिक्स्ड. That is why we are saying it is a relative reference. If we want to fix, that will be, we need to add the dollar sign before the column or the row. अब कहाँ जरूरत पड़ेगी फिक्स करने की, उसका एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल जल्दी से दे देता हूं मैं आपको. Suppose these are the marks like 5, 67, all these, and out of 100 marks. From this example, you are going to get the difference between the relative reference and absolute reference. So I hope please watch this example in a very careful manner. Now, first I will write the equal sign. This divided by this. Okay. And I want to get the percentage. This is the way I can get the percentage. इसी तरह से मिलेगी ना परसेंटेज. 100 में से मार्क्स आए हैं, मैं 50 कर दूं अभी वहाँ, तो जो भी 50 कर देता हूँ, आप जो कहें लिख दूंगा मैं. Basically, in C1 cell they are maximum marks. In B column they are obtained marks, and I want to get the percentage. ठीक है, परसेंटेज मुझे चाहिए. कहाँ चाहिए? D2. अब मैं इसको ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप कर दूं. Why there is error? एरर क्यों आ गया? फार्मूला चेंज हो गया. फार्मूला चेंज हो गया. बताइए. ये मैंने ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप किया because I had given the relative reference. Now there is C2 in the formula because I had given the relative reference. So I need to fix it, and I need to provide the absolute reference so that it will not change. Maximum obviously maximum marks will not be changed. So maximum marks will remain 100. So this is, you can see C2 in the formula. You can see there is C3 in the formula. Now you can see there is C4 in the formula. C1, C2, C3, C4. Because I had given the relative reference. When I drag these values, it is taking the relative value. मतलब C1 की जगह जैसे हमने समेशन किया दो सेल का दो कॉलम को सम करना है, और मैं ड्रैग करूंगा तो A1 प्लस B1 की जगह A2 प्लस नेक्स्ट सेल में A2 A1 प्लस A2 प्लस B2. ठीक है. A3 प्लस B3. इस तरह से रिलेटिव वैल्यूज आएंगी. नाउ आई नीड टू फिक्स इट. ओके, द लास्ट थिंग हाउ कैन आई फिक्स इट? Like this is the dollar sign. I am telling you this is the dollar sign. Okay. Now the formula will not be changed. Now please drag. Now you are getting the right percentage because the value will not change. The row will not be changed. In case I will fix this value. This you can check $1, $1, $1. Because maximum marks wouldn't be changed. So why I need to provide a relative reference? Relative reference देंगे तो चाहिए पता चल जाएगा. Maximum marks 7 पे fix करना है. So I should not give the relative reference in that particular scenario. I need to give the absolute reference in the row. Row shouldn't be changed. I hope you have got what I am trying to explain you. The difference between the relative reference and absolute reference. In order to give the absolute reference, where maybe in the row or in the cell, maybe in the row or in the column, you need to add the dollar sign, $B$1. Okay. If you want to absolute in row only, $B$1, absolute in column only, $B1. Okay. I hope you have got what I am trying to explain. So यहीं तक रखते हैं. I hope, is there any question, any problem? We don't have much time because our guests have already arrived outside. Okay, thank you so much, thank you all.
मेरे को भी बुलाना ही है उन्हें कुछ और पूछ ले एक बार भी स्टार्ट कर Students sitting on the left side, please come in the middle row. आ जाओ, अभी डांट पड़ेगी फिर आओगे. तेरा इतना भी नहीं, डांटनी पड़ेगी.
तेरा पार्ट है ना?
सर बोल रहे थे. तेरे को ही बोल रहा था. नहीं क्या से पिक हो
स्पेलिंग करके
हो सकता है उसने प्रोनाउंसिएशन चेंज करा. किसी को नहीं जानते. ये सब बाहर के हैं. इकबाल आई से होता है. जब से तावेद का नाम है. अरे तैयार
बैठ जा आपको मैं दिखता है आपने मेरे
ये इस वाले फोटो में क्या था?
एक सेकंड ये दोनों देखो प्ले करके देखो सही है ना. ये क्या कैमरा एक मिनट रुको पहले. कहाँ कैम बैठ वो बैठ देंगे स्पीकर पे. कैमरा ये है, आप अपने हिसाब से घुमा लें. क्या करना इधर करना यहाँ. ठीक है. नहीं वो मत करो वो नहीं है, वो कुछ और है. वो फोकस ही
ठीक है फिर ये अपना जो है इसमें है इनका लगा फोटो पे डाल फोटो लगेगा तो मदद अच्छी
मुशीर
कोई बात कोई जरूरत नहीं है यही बात है
I would like to call upon stage Dr. Arif Anwar sir to carry out the next session.
The very first dignitary or the two dignitaries that we have is from the team of Dhruv Vidyut. I'm sure this name is not new to us. This name is quite famous in the world of entrepreneurial journey and entrepreneurship. This team comprises of Mr. Gursaurabh Singh, Mr. Rituraj Singh, and Mr. Simranjeet Singh in absentia. Dhruv Vidyut has provided a real solution in the form of Dhruv Vidyut electric conversion kit to the people who have been a major segment of our society. The beneficiaries of this invention and innovation ranges from a rural area and remote area to the busy roads of metropolitan cities. Let's have a look what DV Dhruv Vidyut has proposed to the society. I'll just play a short video here. quite an invention, isn't it? So, invention is not only limited for the rural areas, but it is finding its space and expanding itself in the metropolitan cities as well. Well, not just this is an invention. Mr. Gursaurabh Singh and his team has basically achieved their landmark in the field of entrepreneurship, and they have approached good investors as well. One of the investors that they have reached are from Shark Tank India. Yes, and I think most of us have seen that. But there is the next clip is of very short. That is a very short clip, but I would like to see a glimpse of what attitude Dhruv Vidyut carries itself, and that's why they are successful today, and they have miles to achieve. Please look at the next video.
100 hours of time for 0.5% equity.
And
No money. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Well, with this, I'd like to invite the team of Dhruv Vidyut, Mr. Gursaurabh Singh sir, and Mr. Rituraj sir on stage. Sir, please. Now I would request both of them and Mr. Simranjeet Singh in absentia to introduce their team and what exactly they have done in the recent past, and specifically related to the invention in the field of entrepreneurship. Sir, the stage is all yours for the next 15-20 minutes.
Well, thank you so much. Great opportunity to be here. I think, this video some of you have seen already. Some of you might have seen the Shark Tank episode already. So you know why I'm here, what I'm trying to do, what the product is, and what my entire purpose is. This is a product that can bring a change in mobility. Mobility की काफी एक problem है हमारे यहाँ. In 2023, if 58% of our people are traveling on a bicycle, their life is restricted. Cycle 5-6 किलोमीटर चलती है, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं. उसी में ही सबकी life है. And that is not one or two people, that's like 58%. You're talking 500 million of our population, which is restricted in those 5-8 kilometers. And for me, that was what needed to change. And this is where I thought maybe, just like a child, you think, why can't we just upgrade that's what's already there? नया क्यों करना है, बस पहले कोई नहीं कर सकते. And it's as naive of a thought, as simple of a thought. And I started working on this. I thought it has potential. And that was motivating enough for me. So it took me about 2.5 years of research, of experimentation, of coming up with the prototype that you have seen in the video. So after once the prototyping is done, that is the work of an inventor. Inventor's job is done. बन गया prototype. You've proven your point that this can be done. ये भी हो सकता है. That's also one possibility. And after that, the journey of the entrepreneur begins. I mean, very rarely, you see that an inventor is also a good entrepreneur, because both operate on very different tangents. The inventor is crazy, he wants to do something, doesn't care much about other aspects, and you need that sort of passion, that sort of craziness. But the entrepreneur needs to be more practical, more logical. Very rarely, like I just said, that you find somebody is able to pull both of these. So I am hoping I am the one. So what can I say? Wish me all the best. That's all. Right? Yeah. So yeah, that's more or less of my journey, and this is Rituraj. He's been my co-founder all through, and Rituraj adds value where I can't add value, in things like finance and things like marketing, which I don't know much about. So that's pretty much our story. We have too much of an echo. So yeah, so I guess all of these are new students who's joining in first year. Is it so? Right? So in which stream, by the way? MBA. Right. So I think आज मुझे भी college के दिन याद आ गए. My first year when I was there. So anybody wants to guess what my academic background is? मेरी degree किस में होगी? Any more guesses? That's it? Only BTech? Do I look that geeky? Maybe it's the glasses. I did my honors in literature because तब मेरे को writer बनना था. And I was like, writer ही बनना है, and I am born to be a writer. I was very convinced. But down the line I think नहीं, writer तो बनना है, but कुछ और भी करना है. And one thing led to the other. Abhi I want to do this, I want to do that. And that's a phase I think everybody faces where we don't have much of clarity. And we hope that clarity is going to come like, जैसे light आती है ना महाभारत में ऐसे ऊपर से, pure clarity, 100% clarity. I think for a while I was waiting for that as well, that I'll get the clarity, I'll chase, my passion, I'll think what it is, and then I'll chase it. But down the line I realized maybe that's not going to work that way. Whatever clarity I'm going to get in my life is going to be a dim clarity. Just a little bit of clarity I'll have. And I realized that that's it. That's all I need. So, we all have some sort of passion, some sort of inclination towards things. Everybody has it. Once you graduate, or after you have done your MBA, all of you are going to have the same degree, correct? Some of you might be toppers, but they're not all. Your degree is going to look exactly the same to me, with a different name. What's going to be cool about you? What's going to be different about any one of you? If you're not the topper, the one thing that separates you from the person sitting next to you is your passion, your hobbies, your skill. And everybody is born with that. कुछ तो भगवान ने सबको दिया हुआ है, जहाँ उसकी inclination है. Whatever your hobby or passion is, you must keep it alive. And it's not for the sake of entertainment. It is what separates you. It is that thing where if you have a passion or a hobby, you learn things so quickly. You'll outpace everybody who's studying the same thing, but it's not their passion. Now, a topper is a topper because nobody is forcing anybody to be a topper. A topper because he likes to study, or he or she likes that particular subject. And they gain exponentially. So, coming back to why I am emphasizing this is because neither do I have a degree in engineering, neither do I have a degree in management. The one thing because I was so hungry. This was my domain. I never used to feel that I'm studying because I was so happy and excited to follow this. And maybe that is one of the reasons I could learn quickly. Maybe that is one of the reasons I could outpace people with degrees. I'm not negating the fact that a degree doesn't do anything. What I'm trying to emphasize is that a passion can be bigger than a degree. And often I hear this that आजकल time नहीं है, degree में निकल जाता है, we all are busy. I mean, you always have time, and deep down you also know this. वो एक बहाना है कि, and very commonly I keep hearing we've got. How many of you think you've got stress? Nobody. Everybody is stress free. You should be very proud, because I was hoping I'll get plenty of people here saying we've got stress, we've got insomnia, we've got this, we've got that. You got nothing, and you have time. There's always time to chase your passion. It doesn't take much at all. So my 2 bits of learning so far is that I usually refrain from giving a lot of advices because I'm still learning quite a lot of stuff. But still, at least one thing that has occurred to me, which I am firm on, is if you chase your passions, if you just somehow keep it alive, there's plenty of doors that open up now, later, down the line. There is just nothing you lose if you keep your hobbies and passions alive. At any point in time, those can be monetized. At any point of time, those can be made as a career. So I can't emphasize this anymore. Your hobbies, your passions, those are your little gifts which the universe has given you. So please never let it die. I think that's all. Is there anybody who has any question or any interaction? I'll be happy to address that.
So if you have,
can you please have the mic?
Yes. Well, some of the answers would be given in the panel discussion, so we can save that. But any question that is directly related to their journey of through Vidyut, you can definitely ask.
Good morning, sir. My name is Madhvikar. I want to ask the product that you have introduced. What was your procedure for filing the patent to it, and how did you get this thing done?
You can have a seat. Let's begin by one thing. Patents hold value, but not as much. Before I begin talking about the patent, I think many of us, including me, we think that patents are the supreme source of protection. In some industries, it has fair bit of protection, but usually you would see that they are more like landmines, right? They prevent others from making it too easy to copy. But I have been in R&D and I know how to get across patents. You give me a patent, I'll tell you how to get across it. So that is just a point I wanted to make, that let's not rely too much on a patent for protection. That's one. Second, what happens is when you have a certain idea and you think that this particular idea or this particular product needs to be patented, you have to develop a patent paper. जैसे thesis लिखते हैं ना, ऐसे you have to mention what exactly is going to be patented. In my particular case, I'll give you the example. I did not invent the bicycle. I did not invent the motor. I did not invent the battery. So what am I getting the patent on? I am getting the patent on the utility of things. ये सबको मैं कैसे use कर रहा हूँ? On that process. An old example which in patent industry often we come across is the safety pin. You remember the safety pin? Just a simple pin है. अब it's just a piece of rod, just a piece of metal. How can you get a patent on that? It is just that how it is used. So once you are clear on what exactly the patent is on, you narrow down on that, and in your thesis and in your patent paper, you mention it clearly with drawings, and you substantiate your case. Initially, when you're filing, you make it very wide, bring in, look, this can be done, that can be done. This is where the invention adds value. This is the utility part of it. This is why it is unique. And you submit that to the patent office. Then the patent office does a due diligence on their part. They may call you, may question you. Then the patent office, you of course pay a fee for that, but it's not that much. They would go all across the other patents that are granted, and they would compare your patent paper with other patent papers and see if there's any similarity. And if there is any similarity, and usually patent office एक दो objection लगा ही देता, then which you have to go there and then again substantiate. After that, once that part is done, you are granted a patent. Now, till the point you are granted tomorrow, and both of us go through the entire journey, towards the end, I'll be awarded the patent. So if anybody here ever thinks of filing a patent, file the patent immediately. You will have enough time to substantiate your case later, right? File it immediately, because filing date is important. That's more or less on it. And don't rely too much on it. It is more like a red tape thing, which needs to be there, but your patent is not going to protect you for a very long time. So that's all.
Thank you, sir.
Is any more questions? You can pass on the mic to the undergraduate side. They have recently joined. Navreet, you have a question. Yes.
Good morning, sir. This is Navreet from undergraduate side. I had a question for you. Like, you had been saying that you had been a writer and then inventor and finally an entrepreneur. So what were the challenging aspect of your entrepreneurship journey? I would like to hear what kind of challenges, being, from different degree, you had faced in this world. Like, usually we see that the BTech graduates has been promoting different kind of products, or the similar field lines are being promoted and they are being valued for that. So I would like to hear the challenging aspect from your side.
Navreet is one finest student who always comes up with hard questions. Yes.
That's not a hard question. Why don't you take a seat? Thank you. Not a hard question at all. Very honest question. And honestly, I'm here to interact with you guys, learn from you guys. So even before I answer this question, would anybody like to take a guess? Like, what are the challenges? Right? Like for example, if you were in my place or you were beginning your journey today, tomorrow, or whenever, what are the challenges that you anticipate you're going to come across? Koi to challenge hoga?
Sir, I think before answering that, one thing, sorry, I'm taking your space. What Navreet also wanted to ask, I presume that you had been into literature and then you shifted into the field of something which had to deal with the engineering part. Then how exactly you dealt with that paradigm shift? This is one thing.
That will come across. See, startup is a new thing now, right? Startup is a trending word. I also always say that startup is a word. Abhi 10 saal purani MBA ki books mein you may not find the word startup. You may not find the word unicorn. You may not find the word entrepreneur. You may not find the word cash burn, and so on. So is startup something new? Is startup something out of the blue? Something alien? No, it's not. It's just a new word. Abhi kal kuch aur aa jayega. In fact, recently, I was at a conclave and I met a young guy, very bright guy. So I said, तो अपना startup चला रहे हो? तो बोलता है नहीं, हमारा startup नहीं है, हमारा तो MSME है. So abhi tak I did not understand what that means. So what I am trying to imply is that tomorrow the new trend will come, then something new, then something new. The question here is that how do we adapt? How do we adapt? We can't have a course for everything. By the time course khatam hoga, there will be a new trend. So how many courses are you going to follow? You need to learn to adapt. And hence I am asking a question to you guys. Right? मेरा तो जर्नी हो गई, जो चैलेंज होने थे हो गए, and I will be happy to share it across. But what do you think are the challenges that you are going to face? I am very interested, like genuinely I am interested to know. And any of you, not just you, anybody can answer. What are the tomorrow if you start you go ahead with your own journey after your degree or even while you are pursuing your degree, many of you I'm sure would be interested in you. I'm very sure bright guys, bright girls, they'll have brilliant ideas, right? So kabhi to chalta hoga na, I want to do something. What is the challenge that you think will come to you first? Oh, can the guy have the mic?
Relevancy of the idea.
Okay. Funding and making sure the idea is relevant.
Building a team that resonates with your idea and believes in you.
Right. That's it. 3. Competition.
and to make sure that that idea hasn't been isn't already existing around the globe.
Okay. So we have relevancy of the idea. Is our idea relevant enough or viable enough to work? 2 is funding. 3 is team building. What was the 4th one? Competition. So let's put competition under the relevancy, because if it is too competitive, then it might not be relevant enough. I mean, every question that is there, it has a solution. Okay? All of these questions which I am going to answer now, they'll have a particular solution. So first of all, there is no challenge which doesn't have a solution. Some solutions will be easy to get, some solutions will be harder to get. And how do I put a cap on what's harder and what's simpler? How many number of hours it's going to take for me to get that solution? For you to get your MBA degree, you need to put an X number of hours. You put that, you'll get your degree. If you don't put it, you won't get it. It's as simple in my mind. Now, relevancy, this is the due diligence part. Even before you begin, even before you take your first step, you need to make sure, is it relevant enough or is it viable enough for your next step? I mean, what is going to happen after 5 years? What's going to happen if I take a plunge and then it's not relevant? You can't predict many things. So point number 1, learning to adapt also means stop questioning too much. Question what is relevant for you in the immediate next step. Abhi I ask you simple question, why are you pursuing your MBA? MBA करने के बाद what is the guarantee? कितने लोगों को मैं जानता हूँ MBA करके, I can start demotivating, but are you going to quit your degree? Because you also have your beliefs. That is point number 1 on how you adapt. You cut the crap, focus on the point on your immediate step. Immediate next 2 to 3 steps, and that is it. That's it. Right now, if you are first year students, do you have third year books with you? Second year books? You only have your what is relevant, right? But why don't you focus on third year also? It's going to help you down the line. It's too much. You can't. So similarly, we just, make sure what do we concentrate on. Your next 2 to 3 steps, that is it, and that's how you adapt. Point number 2 comes at funding. Now, funding is like, जैसे syringe लेके किसी का खून निकालते हैं ना, funding is kind of like that. Nobody wants to fund you, but then you need funding. So, see, funding, yes, it is a concern. You need it, but it's like, if there's an infant, और मैं उसको बोलूँ कि इसको whey protein खिलाओ ताकि ये जल्दी बड़ा हो जाए, it's going to have the opposite effect, completely opposite. An infant needs to consume food when the infant is ready to consume. If you force feed, that's going to have very bad negative effect. See, at an ideation stage, I ask any of you, I mean, now you have questions like, is my idea relevant enough? Is my idea viable enough? To think or to make an idea on paper, why do you need funding now? Why? I mean, you can't have best of everything. That I don't want to work because I am working on my startup, but I should somehow get equivalent salary for my work that I am putting in the startup. I also need security. I also need this. I also need that. You just can't have best of everything. For a while, a startup doesn't need funding initially. And you are like, and this is relevant to the first point. One more thing to worry about is funding. One more news which is we see on Insta or which we see here, which is the oh फलाने ने तो 20 करोड़ की raise कर ली, उसने 100 कर लिए, उसने 200 कर लिए. Those are at a certain stage. It's like again आप third year की book नहीं पढ़ रहे हो, but why are you concentrating on this? Concentrate on your journey. Is funding imperative for your immediate next step or not? Yes or no? One avenue. Grants that you can avail, and grant is something you don't have to pay back, by the way. So you are kind of pretty free with it. The list is pretty long. All they want is a viable idea from you, which is worth putting the money in. So how quickly do you get your idea viable enough is the question, which can be done while you are pursuing your degree, which can be done while you are pursuing your MBA or whatever you are doing. It can be done, even on paper. at an ideation stage. Even the idea itself right now is an infant idea. मुझे ऐसा करना है, I have this idea. It is zero, right? Or just about zero. And I always say that zero is the most powerful thing in the world, because you divide anything with zero, multiply anything with zero. Even if you do divide zero with infinity, it is still zero. The biggest journey will be 0 to 1. The easier journey will be from 1 onwards. Get to a certain point of ideation where your idea is somewhat like a business model. And what is a business model? I guess you guys know it better than I do with your MBA. Like that. So that goes the funding part. What was the third question again? I'm sorry.
Sir,
Yes.
another 2 parts
Team
are
building.
important. I think that will be covered in the panel discussion.
Yes.
So I'll take this.
The team building part and the other question that you had, already we have it in the panel discussion, so I'll answer it in a lot more detail then. I guess let's move on then.
So shall we?
Please. Yes.
Thank you. So we have our next panelist with us, Mr. Hamad Shahid, who is founder and CMO of Gurukul. Well, Mr. Hamad Shahid is currently building Gurukul, that is an educational networking platform, and that offers a suite of tools to connect learners and educators. A tech learning platform of that kind, maybe. The rest of the parts would be introduced by Mr. Hamad Shahid only. And just to introduce him, he has been the founder of JMI Help as well, which was a one-stop destination when he was in his college days at Jamia Millia Islamia. His articles and interviews have been published in The Hindu, Financial Express, Indian Express, India Tomorrow, Two Circles, to name a few. He has been a guest speaker and lecturer at various institutes of repute, including Netaji Subhash University of Technology, Jamia Millia Islamia, Ramanujan College in Delhi University, and some more. So we'd like to welcome Mr. Hamad on the dais, please. Now I'd request Mr. Hamad to introduce himself as well as his team of Gurukul to every one of us, and what exactly he does in the next 2-3 minutes. Suppose I think that would be enough. So.
Hi guys, good morning. I think. So यहाँ पे कितने लोग अटेंडेंस के लिए आए हैं? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सबके चेहरे देख के लग रहे हैं अटेंडेंस के लिए आए हैं सारे, राइट? कूल. सो हाय, आई एम Hamad Shahid. I am a 23-year-old entrepreneur. I guess आप लोगों के साथ का या आप लोगों से शायद 1 साल बड़ा होऊंगा. And we are building Gurukul. Gurukul I think जामिया हमदर्द में बहुत लोग जानते हैं. I have one of my interns sitting in front of me. So काफ़ी लोगों ने internships किए Gurukul के साथ, and we have built Gurukul together. We define Gurukul as an educational networking platform which offers a suite of tools to connect learners and educators. बहुत भारी भरकम वर्ड है, सिंपल करता हूँ. We have Facebook as social networking platform. We have LinkedIn as professional networking platform. We have Gurukul as an educational networking platform. अगर मैं बहुत यूज केस सिनेरियो लूँ तो लेट्स सपोज मैं हमाद हूँ, एंड ऑब्वियसली मैं हमाद हूँ. मैं स्नैपचैट पे बहुत स्नैपी बनता हूँ, मैं लिंक्डइन पे बहुत प्रोफेशनल बनता हूँ, एंड द सेम पर्सन इज वेरी ट्राइंग टू बिल्ड एस्थेटिक एंड कोर इंस्टाग्राम. On Twitter, I want to be an opinion maker. So I have an individual personality having multiple personas and multiple social media platforms. So on Gurukul, I'm talking about learning, growing, thriving. Everything would revolve around education. Gurukul ने कुछ छोटे मोटे achievements भी किए थे. Gurukul raised funds with investors. हमने लगभग around $2,000 $200,000 का funds raise किया. We scaled right now around 2.5 lakh users are using Gurukul. We scaled our team. And we're still growing. I think we are a very young startup, I would say, with a lot to achieve. And I don't have much, I would say, advices to put in, but yeah, definitely what I've learned in my 3 years of experience of entrepreneurship, I definitely can put up and share with all of you. So yeah, that's pretty much about me. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Hamad sir. Well, our next panelist we have with us is Mr. Yasif Iqbal. His country head, India, Solintech. Mr. Yasif Iqbal is currently working as the country head in India for Solintech. He has completed electrical engineering from Aligarh Muslim University in 2015. and started working in the field of renewable energy, and that too particularly solar. Later, he completed executive MBA program in marketing and international business from Jamia Islamia in 2020. He has worked with companies like KEC, TBEA, and Solis. He has been awarded with 30 under 30 top influential leaders of the Indian solar industry by EQ magazine, and he has got some other achievements and awards. We'd like to welcome Mr. Yasif on the dais now. Now I'd request Mr. Yasif to introduce himself and tell us more about his journey in the field of solar energy and how exactly he has reached to this particular place.
Hi, good morning everyone. कैसे हैं आप लोग? अभी तो MBA का फर्स्ट ईयर है, तो अभी तो अलग ही माहौल होगा. सब लोग बिल्कुल ही well, my journey is like when I completed my engineering from MU. Usually कंपनी में प्लेसमेंट हो गया, एक यूजुअल रूटीन चल रहा था, ऑफिस जाना है, शाम में ऑफिस से आना है, बट इट वाज नॉट लाइक, आई नेवर लाइक दिस काइंड ऑफ सेटअप. So I was continuously looking for something more challenging. तो वो चैलेंज मुझे तब मिला when I started working with TBA. Solar was, you know, getting started in India. बहुत ज़्यादा पीक पर जा रहा था उस टाइम. यूटिलिटी स्केल के प्रोजेक्ट्स आ रहे थे बहुत ज़्यादा. So I met with a Chinese guy, and they were manufacturers of central inverters at that time. But that was before COVID, obviously. So when they offered me that, okay, you have to set up this company in India. You have to help us set up this company in India. And you have to start our business here. And that was TBA again. So when I went to my flat, I met my friends and I told them about it. That there's no office and salary dollars में आएगी and whatever it is, and it's kind of a startup that we have to do. Everyone was so afraid. आप सोच सकते हैं कोविड से पहले घर पे बैठना, कोई ऑफिस ही नहीं है, जाना कहाँ है, काम कहाँ करना है. Then COVID happened and luckily जो है वो सब घर पे बैठ गए. उसके बाद जो है वो सब वर्क फ्रॉम होम चलने लगा. So Chinese were planning for like 10-15 years back कि क्या करना है. And then again वो सारा कुछ सेटअप करना. उसके बाद then I moved to another company, Solis. That was again a startup company in China. उसका बिजनेस सेटअप किया मैंने इंडिया में. And then I set up their business in Middle East, North Africa, Bangladesh, Nepal, and all these regions. पूरा channel management सारा चीज सेटअप करने के बाद now I am setting up a new company, Solintech. यहाँ हम इनका मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेटअप भी डाल रहे हैं इंडिया के अंदर. So we are the manufacturers of PV inverters, photovoltaic inverters that you call, that is used in solar projects. So that's my journey. अभी तो start हुई है. Challenges बहुत है, हर कदम पे challenges हैं, but वही है कि जैसे सर अभी बोल रहे थे, इस तरह से जब आपकी तरह हम भी बैठते थे तो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को सुनते थे. उनकी स्टोरी एक्चुअल में रियलाइजेशन तब हुआ जब खुद घुसे उसमें कि वो दर्द क्या है. जब बिल्कुल हालत खराब हो जाती है, समझ में आता नहीं है, रात की नींद चली जाती है, तब समझ में आता है कि अच्छा ये क्या बात कर रहे होते थे स्टेज पे बैठ के. सो एक्चुअली वो रियलाइजेशन हुआ. लेकिन वही है कि डेडिकेशन, परसिवियरेंस, ये सब जो वर्ड्स हैं वो एक्चुअली यूज हुए तब. और एक अच्छा जो लास्ट सॉलिस है, सॉलिस वी स्टार्टेड विद $1 million in India, and in 4 years we completed almost $50 million in India, from India only. तो इतना बिजनेस हम लोगों ने किया, and now the next target is Solintech. So that's my journey. I would love to share all my experience with you. For any questions, I am here. Thank you.
Thank you, यासिफ साहब. अंदाज कुछ शायराना था, हो सकता है कुछ शेर भी सुन लें हम लोग आखिर तक. Well, last but not the least, I'd like to invite Dr. Babar Ali Khan sir. not just he's the faculty of our department, but also he is the in charge of the incubation unit that we have at Jamia Hamdard. And he too is struggling in setting that thing up, and he too wishes to take that particular space of incubation cell or incubation unit to heights. And I'm sure with all the efforts, he definitely is going to do wonders in that particular field. Sir, please come on stage. Well, it's time for the some answers that we wish to get from our panelists in the field of entrepreneurship. As we know that this panel discussion is themed on the entrepreneurial insights, pioneering success in business landscape. How exactly an entrepreneur starts his or her journey, and what are the challenges, what are the different answers that they find for various questions or unprecedented questions that they face in their journey. So I'd like to start with some of the questions, and specifically from the entrepreneur's mouth. That one question is, where did you get the idea? So this particular question, I'd like to first ask from the team of Dhruv Vidyut, maybe Rituraj sir or maybe Simranjit sir. Where did you get this idea, and where did you start from actually when you built this particular kit? So before building this kit, where exactly you were, where exactly your mind was?
I think part of that we've already answered.
Right.
And yeah, we would like to add something.
Basically, I would like to add in it, bit a later part of it. We used to test it, and this is where it got concrete that we needed to do it, and this is actually a viable product. Is when we would test.
क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, रेशनल थिंकिंग रखिए कि क्या चीजें होने वाली हैं आगे जाके 2 साल बाद आप कहां पर एंड अप करोगे, क्या नई टेक्नोलॉजी आएगी। अभी एनर्जी स्टोरेज कितना बड़ा मार्केट आ रहा है। सिर्फ मुझसे किसी ने बोला, we talk to a lot of customers, I mean keep talking. So one customer told me that India is a cost sensitive market. इंडिया में जो है एनर्जी स्टोरेज इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी देयर। वही हम अपना एक छोटा सा इन्वर्टर लगाएंगे, लेड एसिड बैटरी लगी रहेगी, कभी लाइट गई, बिजली गई, कभी बिजली चली गई तो फिर मतलब वही रहेगा, आधा एक घंटा फैन चलता रहेगा, लाइट चलती रहेगी। लेकिन लुक एट द यूरोप, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन यूरोप। यूरोप में सिर्फ और सिर्फ एनर्जी स्टोरेज चल रहा है। क्यों? अब आप यूरोप का मॉडल देखोगे, अब इंडिया में क्या आने वाला है। इंडिया में एक अभी नई पॉलिसी आई है, गवर्नमेंट ने लाई है, जिसको कहते हैं टाइम ऑफ द डे टैरिफ, टीओडी क्या है उसको कह रहे हैं। उसमें क्या क्या गवर्नमेंट ने कि उसमें पीक टाइम, पीक आवर जो है वो बिजली के यूज का वो डिफाइन कर दिया है। अब शाम में 6 बजे से 10 बजे तक आने वाले टाइम में नॉर्मल जो आप यूज कर रहे हैं इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, वो 6 रुपए पर यूनिट होगी, 7 रुपए पर यूनिट होगी। लेकिन शाम में 6 से 10 बजे तक अगर आप बिजली यूज करोगे तो क्या होगा, 18 रुपए पर यूनिट, 20 रुपए पर यूनिट, 16 रुपए पर यूनिट। सो दिस इज द टैरिफ दैट इज गोइंग टू कम। दिस विल बी द ड्राइवर फॉर एनर्जी स्टोरेज। हर कोई लिथियम आयन बैटरी, सोलर अपने घर में लगाया, क्योंकि उनके बिजली का बिल पहुंच जाएगा 20,000 30,000 रुपए। So these are the policies that drive things.
So Mr. Yasif, this would have been my next question, but you are already answering it. So one was from the perspective of geopolitical scenario that you have already answered, and second one is from the perspective of market and the consumers. That what exactly consumers? So Indian consumers are very much cost sensitive and price sensitive, and there what kind of solution that is being proposed by Solentech, and whether that energy storage, even today we are having that small device of inverter, fine, but what solution, what Solentech might be offering to the customer so that they can go further into energy storage or something like that?
See, all the solutions are derived by policies. आज के टाइम पे एक चीज आपके लिए महंगी पड़ रही है, कल को वही चीज एक पॉलिसी आ जाएगी। सिर्फ 2 साल पहले की बात करते, सर ईवी में काम कर रहे हैं, 2 साल पहले आप बात कर रहे थे नेक्सॉन कितने की आ रही थी सर, 16 लाख की आ रही थी, है ना। आज देखिए आज कितने की आ रही है, 7 लाख की आ रही है ना, 7-8 लाख की आ रही है ईवी। पॉलिसी आ गई, उसमें आपको 1.5 लाख का उधर मिल जाएगा, एडवांटेज मिल जाएगा। तो सारी चीजें जो है उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करती हैं। पहली चीज तो ये पॉलिसीज के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा ये मार्केट ड्राइव करता है। सेकंड जो ड्राइवर है मार्केट का, वो है आप देख रहे हैं, मतलब इन्वायरमेंट के पहले के ऊपर हम लोग बात करते थे 10 साल पहले कि पॉल्यूशन है, होगा। अब तो सब चीजें दिख रही है ना, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग की सब चीजें सामने हैं। हम अभी नवंबर आ रहा है, अब से हम सांस लेना बंद कर देंगे दिल्ली में, क्योंकि हर तरफ पॉल्यूशन है, मास्क लगा के घूमेंगे। सो दीज आर द ड्राइवर्स। सो एनर्जी स्टोरेज और रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी में अब हमारे पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं रहा कॉस्ट का या किसी चीज का। आज से कुछ साल पहले एसी जो है वो लग्जरी था, आज के टाइम पे एसी क्या है, नेसेसिटी है, हर किसी के घर में लगा हो। तो ये चीज जो है एक ड्राइवर है जो आने वाला है। वही मैं कह रहा हूं कि किस तरह से मार्केट डिस्ट्रप्शन आने वाला है, ये चीज आपको पता होना बहुत जरूरी है। सो दिस इज व्हाट और एज अ Solentech हम लोग जो कंप्लीट एनर्जी स्टोरेज सॉल्यूशन, यानी कि सोलर प्लस इन्वर्टर प्लस लिथियम आयन बैटरीज। और ये नहीं कि मतलब आपके वो सम लाइक फैन एंड एवरीथिंग, एसी जैसे घर में पूरी चीजें चलती हैं नॉर्मल इलेक्ट्रिसिटी से, वैसे ही पूरे की पूरे आपको बैटरी सप्लाई करेंगे।
Okay, my next question goes to Dr. Babar Ali Khan sir, as he's the in charge of incubation unit. Sir, I have seen many a times that you had been interacting with young entrepreneurs or budding entrepreneurs who are coming up with their basic ideas, and they are taking spaces in our incubation unit. वो किस तरह के अपने baseline nascent stage challenges लेकर आते हैं, वो किस चीज़ से struggle कर रहे होते हैं?
Most of the time their questions are related with funding and how to convert their ideas into a business venture.
So conceptualization.
Yes, conceptualization. So as sir said that a lot of funds are available nowadays. If you have some good idea, then you will find someone funding you there. So government is also very active, and they have different schemes for the startups. Especially Delhi. Delhi government is one of the most aggressive in this startups. Then comes the other states like UP has also come up very fast. So if anyone is interested in that, I provide them the platform. I inform them about the sources from where they can get the funds. And the second stage about how to convert their ideas. Since incubation center, we have a good panel of mentors also from different industries. So we try to understand which mentor will be suitable for him, and we attach that person to him only. So they get that. What are the problem they ask? They can get the answer from them.
Sorry, thank you. So by this time, we have understood about majority of the things which relates with the very basic challenges that an entrepreneur in their journey that they face from the very beginning. So some of the solution that could be provided at the incubation stage and some at the acceleration stage. Well, we'll move on to the next part. Yes.
Funding was their question.
Yes, funding was their question. So funding, and the next question that I have is related to question. So anybody who's having question related to funding, somebody was asking something related to funding, is funding a problem or something like that? Student at the very back, the second student with green t-shirt. Please, you can look this side, in the middle. No? Yes, yeah, you were asking something at that point of time. That is covered, that question is covered. Patent, okay, that was fine. Later on, there was no question. Alright, so I'll just move on to the next part, and the funding part can also be introduced
So
there.
if anybody ever has any
Yes, so or maybe at the last you can have your question when the whole panel discussion is over. So as of now, I have one question which is related to valuation aspect. Many a times what happens that when an entrepreneur or a budding entrepreneur, he or she goes with, asking the investors that we need some money from you, and they, in return, they give them some stake. So the whole thing, the whole conclusion, narrows down to one aspect, that whether the valuation has been done in the right manner or not. For example, let's say Shark Tank US or Shark Tank India. As we know that Dhruv Vidyut has come back from that particular platform of Shark Tank. And you did not offer, we have seen that you did not get any money from there, but you gave them certain stake. That was for their time, 100 hours of time. But what happens exactly when you are proposing that your company is of 100 crore valuation or something like that? Where exactly young entrepreneurs make mistake in calculating that particular valuation of their company? So I'll start with you, Mr. Resource. And then you can definitely include the funding aspect as well.
Sure. I think more value brothers can add here, because you've raised multiple rounds of funding, I guess. So more practical knowledge they can provide. I can give you my basics of what I have learned. Let's take it simply. अब एक अंडा कितने का आता है? मुर्गी का एक अंडा, ऑमलेट पूरा तंदूरी चिकन कितने का आता? So you see, क्या है कि at what point you put a value on the same product, right? अभी there is no formula.
मार्केट में बहुत पैसा था. अभी एडटेक में 25-30x मल्टीपल भी यू कैन रेज योर ARR बेस एनुअल रिकरिंग रेवेन्यू. तो आप एक साल में रेवेन्यू बना रहे हो, उसका 25 से 30x 25-30x मल्टीपल उसका वैल्यूएशन आप कोट कर सकते हो, दैट इज जस्टिफाइड. उससे ज्यादा कोट करने की यू हैव टू शो समथिंग वेरी आई वुड से नॉट डिसरप्टिंग द मार्केट, कि इसका एक्सपोनेंशियल स्केल इतना ज्यादा है कि ये 3 साल में यूनिकॉर्न बन जाएगा. तो दैट वुड अगेन दैट्स एन एक्सेप्शनल केस. यूजुअली ये मार्केट स्टैंडर्ड होता है. तो डिपेंड्स ऑन द मार्केट, आप किस इन्वेस्टर को पिच कर रहे हो, कैसे इन्वेस्टर्स को पिच करो. इन्वेस्टर की कैटेगरीज होते हैं अलग अलग, कौन से स्टेज पे लगाएगा वो, कितना पैसा कितना स्टेक लेगा आपसे. इनिशियली अगर आप सिर्फ जाके प्रीसीड पे ही अच्छा फंड रेज कर लेगा, आपसे स्टेक ले लेंगे. और इनिशियली इन प्रीसीड से यू शुडंट डाइल्यूट मोर देन 10%. दैट्स माय पर्सनल ओपिनियन. नहीं तो आप 30-40% फर्स्ट राउंड में आई मीन आप डाइल्यूट कर दोगे, फिर और राउंड्स होंगे, फिर और डाइल्यूट करोगे, एंड में बचेगा नहीं. So yeah, that's pretty much a basic idea about how fundings and valuations take place.
So what exactly the panelist is saying, that initially bootstrapping is important, and then further we can go to the investors and ask for.
See, we need money to run business. Funding is a form of getting money, right? Very easily we negate the part that if you look around yourselves, the large empires of business that you see, and then at the same time you see 90% of the startups failing, right? Why are we not talking about that first? So 90% fail ho rahe hai. Shouldn't we be worried? If I am starting my own venture and 90% of guys like me are failing within the first 2 years, won't I would want to see the pattern there? Why are we so fixated on the top 2%? Why not we talking about those 98%? Now, मेरी ये personal opinion है, and I might be wrong, and if I am, please feel free to correct me here. Jumping into funding too quickly is one of the reasons. Whether it's VC funding, whether it is angel funding, whether it is this funding, whether it is that funding. अब एक नया गेम यहीं बैठे बैठे आपने नोटिस किया. Now we are talking valuation. Now we are talking about how it happens, how it not doesn't happen, how do we bump it up, how don't we do it. अभी तो ideation पे थे हम 2 मिनट पहले. So, and we are not machines, we'll get swayed. As a founder, the biggest mistake you can do is get swayed. You are creative, okay? आप already think big कर रहे हो, creative भी हो, बहुत कुछ हो. The price a creative guy pays is of getting swayed. Very difficult to keep yourself focused. अब एक नई प्रॉब्लम आ गई, अब इस पे भी डील करना है. How do we mitigate that? Let's go to our school way. If you can't convince your parents to put money, right, on the idea, might be a very small amount. Okay, MDH, Lijjat Papad, Amul, Mahindra, you would name a company, Nirma washing powder. मतलब करोड़ों की एम्पायर है, हजारों करोड़ों की, वो घर के उससे शुरू हो रही है. That stigma needs to go away, that I can't do this because it's not trendy. मैं loan नहीं ले सकता because it is too risky. If you can't take that sort of a risk initially, and you're talking very small numbers, you don't need that much of funding for a while, yeah. For a first year, how much funding do you think you need? You don't have to jump into offices. You don't need a 50 people team around you when you're at an ideation stage or you are at pre-revenue. So which patterns are we talking? Who are we trying? Which precedents are we following? Who is setting these ideals? Nobody. Instagram is setting these ideals for you. And that's a very, not a great place to have your ideas on. So Abhi, the market that is around you, it will keep swaying you. You can't blame it. Abhi, if Rummy and Saap Seedi starts giving you money, फिर startup करना ही क्यों है? सांप सीढ़ी खेलो. But is that, so how many people do you know, or how many business tycoons do you know who will say कि मैं जुआ खेल के business खड़ा करा है, मैंने सांप सीढ़ी खेल के empire खड़ी करी है. What is that pattern which we are not talking? It always begins from a loan. It always begins from mummy, papa. It always begins from that. So agar if you can't go beyond this step, I have heard the story that loan is too risky. Then, brother, you are in the wrong field, because every single step is going to be risky. Every single step is going to be uncertain. Maybe this is not for you then. If you look around you, if you look around your relatives, if you look around your family, a very large percentage would be in the service sector. Some would be in the military or whatever. It was always those 2-3 crazy people, who started neem ko apna business karna hai. They took the risk. It was always those 2-3%. And it is still those 2-3%. It's going to be 2-3% for a while. So are you a part of those 2-3%? You can only say yes if you have the risk appetite. You can't be so secure when you are at an ideation stage. Post ideation, till the point you reach, start generating revenue. One thing which everybody is underestimating, how much you would have changed. If you have 50 happy customers, let me give this to you in writing. You will be a different person altogether. That much confidence, that much exposure. You have answered questions of 50 customers and convinced them to give money. अब और क्या पूछ सकता है कोई आपसे? देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन लेफ्ट, देयर इज नो स्टोन अनटर्न्ड. So again, maybe I sound too idealistic in nature, but that has worked for so many people, right? And I always see that pattern, and I'm very precarious about the 90% startups that fail, according to Forbes, right?
2018 report, right?
So that was my approach. So I still believe that funding, yes, it can come from people, it can come from investors, but the little parts initially can come from very simple sources also. So think about that.
I'll just like to add one point. बताने की मुझे ऐसा लगा कि I mean people get I would say the initial stage entrepreneurs right now get swept away with this flashy world. I mean they funds raise करके they need offices, funds raise करके they need मतलब I've seen startups मतलब I think सिर्फ 100 कस्टमर है वो CRM खरीद रहे हैं. टीम में शायद 5 प्रोजेक्ट्स चल रहे हैं, वो प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम के आसाना टाइप सब्सक्रिप्शंस ले रहे हैं. जो काम 5 व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे हो सकता है, जो काम आपके 100 कस्टमर्स को मैनेज करना, आज तक गुरुकुल गूगल शीट्स यूज़ करता है. आज तक गुरुकुल अपने सारे मतलब हमारे पास लगभग आई वुड से मोर देन 80 मेंबर्स काम करें कंपनी में. वी आर नॉट यूजिंग दोस प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम्स. टुडे ऑल्सो आई हैव माई मीटिंग्स इन द कॉन्फ्रेंस क्लासरूम्स ऑफ जहाँ बच्चे पढ़ते हैं. 4 बजे से पहले हम मीटिंग करते हैं, 4 बजे के बाद बच्चे आके वहाँ क्लासेस कर रहे होते हैं. Because it's someone's money. I cannot just waste it into having those flashy concepts of cubicles, offices, WeWork में जाके मैं per seater charge पे करूँ, या मैं visiting cards बनवाऊँ तो एकदम glossy वाला plastic card बनवाऊँ ताकि दिखाने में अच्छा लगे. That's not what business is. That's not what entrepreneurship is. That's not what innovation is. आप business बनाओ, धंधा बनाओ, दुनिया अपने आप देखेगी आपको. So just don't get swayed by this Instagram real influencers जो I don't know, I mean दो जिनके offices बहुत अच्छे होते हैं. You want from the day one you want those flashy concepts of offices and these all of these managing softwares and all. ज़रूरत नहीं होती है. At a stage जब आपको ज़रूरत पड़ेगी तो definitely आप उसको use करो, but not for the sake of because all companies use कर रहे हैं उसको, right? So yeah, I just wanted to add this one point here.
मैं भी एक चीज ऐड करूंगा. हम बहुत एडवांस स्टेज पे बात कर रहे हैं सर. हम बहुत एडवांस स्टेज पे बात कर रहे हैं. सबसे पहले एक आइडिया, अगर एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना है तो एक आइडिया रखो कि मेरे को काम करना है, मेहनत करनी है. सेकंड स्टेप धंधा सीखना है. बहुत मुश्किल काम है, कोई आसान काम नहीं है. मैं आपको रियलिटी चेक दे दूं, हाथ पैर फूल जाते हैं, रातों की नींद चली जाती है कि ये होगा कैसे, चैनल्स बनेंगे कैसे, जो चैनल्स बन रहे हैं वो मैनेज कैसे होंगे, माल कैसे आएगा, कहाँ जाएगा, किस मार्केट में डालना है, कॉम्पिटिटर से कैसे करनी है. ये सब चीज़ों को पहले समझना, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. पहले ये सबको काम करके थोड़ा सा समझना, फिर अपने आइडिएशन पे काम करना, फिर पैसे की बात करना. तो हम मुझे लगता है बहुत आगे की बात कर रहे हैं हम यहाँ पर.
Sorry यार, I'm cutting, but this is urgent question I need to ask. अरे मुझे एक बात बताओ, मैं इनके बिहाफ से पूछना चाह रहा हूँ. नींद उड़ जाएगी, ये बिल्कुल सही है, एवरीबडी सेज दिस, राइट? बहुत परेशानियां हैं, ये है वो है, तो भी करना ही क्यों है ये? मतलब why are we inviting all of this?
नहीं सर, मैं यही कह रहा हूँ कि किक देती है चीजें, ये किक देती है, ये जो सेटिस्फैक्शन देता है. अब आप जो है एयरफोर्स पायलट से बात करो, भैया उड़ाना क्यों है, इतना स्पीड प्लेन जाकर हवा में उसको गोते घुमाना है, क्यों करना है? क्योंकि वो किक देता है. अपने देश के लिए लड़ना, अपने देश के लिए करना, ये सब चीजें वो एक किक देता है. तो ये जो एंटरप्रेन्योरियल जर्नी है ना, डिस्पाइट ऑल दीज चैलेंजेस, जब आपका वो बेबी जब वो बड़ा हो रहा होगा ना, तो वो जो सेटिस्फैक्शन मिलता है, वो जो सुकून मिलता है, तो फिर सब चीजें जो है ना वो साइड की साइड रखी रह जाती हैं. तो वही कह रहा हूं, वो आग होनी चाहिए. पहले वो आग डेवलप रखो, आग को जलते रहने दो, एट द सेम टाइम आप सीखते रहो.
I think this is a very rare occasion that we are all on the same page. ऐसा होता नहीं है, नहीं तो ऐसा हुआ कि आप जो कह रहे हो मेरे को गलत लग रहा है. नहीं, ऐसा होना चाहिए बिकॉज मैंने सही कर दिया. Whereas मेरा एक कंसर्न हमेशा इस चीज से रह रहा है कि whenever somebody anywhere you hear when they say funding, एक चीज निकल आएगी वैल्यूएशन. तो यहाँ पे एक कॉन्सेप्ट बन गया फंडिंग फॉर वैल्यूएशन. Whereas funding should be for a purpose. And purpose क्या है? जैसे आप में से कोई अगर इन्वेस्टर होता और मेरे को आकर आपसे पैसे लेना है, सो व्हाट वुड आई डू? आई वुड कम एंड से सर मेरे पास 500 गाड़ियां बनी है, आई हैव आइडेंटिफाइड 1500 पीपल. आप पूछोगे 1500 क्यों? बिकॉज आई नो कि इफ आई गो टू 500 इट्स इम्पॉसिबल दैट 500 से कि सर हाँ दे दो. सो आई नीड 1500 पीपल. तो मेरे सर यहाँ 2 बन गए. आई वॉन्ट टू मैन्युफैक्चर 500 यूनिट्स, तो मेरे को मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए पैसे चाहिए, एंड 1500 लोगों तक पहुंचने के लिए आई नीड मार्केटिंग बजट. सो दिस इज माई पर्पस एंड आई बिलीव अगर इफ आई पिच दिस टू यू विल गिव मी योर मनी. सो एंड अपेरेंटली नॉट फॉर द सेक वैल्यूएशन के लिए आई एम नॉट डूइंग इट. सो लेट्स अज्यूम आप मेरे को 2 रुपए भी देते हो, वैल्यूएशन इज अ बाय प्रोडक्ट. 2 into 2 is 4 होना ही होना है. बट राइट नाउ इफ आई सेल दिस, आई मेक इट हैपन because of the revenue and the money I get in and the brand value I create, ये और ज़्यादा बढ़ चुका है. So funding for purpose, not for valuation. This is where we are digressing.
So I think
one thing I will also like to add. आपकी जो स्टेज है, आप लोग इतना कंसर्न अगर हैं तो आपके लिए ऑलरेडी एक प्लेटफॉर्म है इस इंडस्ट्री में जो अवेलेबल है कि आप लोग अगर कोई आइडिया रखते हैं और सचमुच स्टार्टअप या कोई अपना इनोवेटिव आइडिया है और उससे बिजनेस करना चाहते हैं, तो वी आर प्रोवाइडिंग ऑल सॉर्ट ऑफ फैसिलिटीज विच आर रिक्वायर्ड फॉर यू एट दिस स्टेज, right from the infrastructure to mentorship, advisory. At the same time, since we have already registered about 17 startups, और नेक्स्ट जो इस सिलेक्शन पैनल शुरू होने वाला है नेक्स्ट मंथ में हम लोग शुरू करेंगे, तो उसमें आप ये आप के लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि अगर आपके पास कुछ इस तरह की चीज़ है तो आप उसमें रजिस्टर्ड करिए. मेरे व्हाट्सएप पे आप लोग अपना इंटरेस्ट भेज दीजिए, तो मैं आपको लिंक शेयर कर लूँगा रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए. लेकिन आपको जो ज़रूरत होती है चीज़ें सारी वो अवेलेबल हैं, और बल्कि जो बहुत सारे हमारे ऐसे स्टार्टअप हैं जिनको अटैची चाहिए, जिनको लोग चाहिए जो उनके साथ जुड़ जाए. तो अगर आप लोग इंटरेस्टेड हैं, आपके पास अगर मान लीजिए आइडिया नहीं है लेकिन ये इंटरेस्ट है कि यू शुड बी अ पार्ट ऑफ स्टार्टअप, then again you have the facility, you have the opportunity, and you can register yourself for the CIE. Thank you.
Okay, so I think the next question is very much associated with what Dr. Babar Ali Khan has said. But one thing I'd like to just convey this, that we are already running short. It's 12:40 approximately, so we'll try to wind this answer as early as possible and in crisp manner. What sir is saying, what Babar sir is saying, that we should get attached and we should be in the team. And this team building is very important, I think. And this is what exactly Mr. Yasif or Mr. Gulsaurabh Singh sir or Mr. Hamad or Mr. Rituraj Singh sir have been telling, that शायद वो valuation वाला stage बहुत बाद में आए, but initially जो चीज़ आने वाली है, that is you have to build a good team. So on that I'll start with Mr. Yasif Iqbal. Since you are taking a business which has come from outside, how exactly that team building works? And I'll ask you to be very short and crisp so that we can have a fair idea that how team building is important in startups or maybe for any business.
For me, this is the most difficult part, the team building. It looks easy that hiring someone and ask them to work for it, and trying to maintain our cool and their cool as well. So it's the most difficult part because आपको अपने like minded लोग मिलना तो impossible है. जो मिलते हैं उनसे उनको ऑनबोर्ड कराना, उनको अपने थॉट प्रोसेस पे लेकर चलना बहुत बहुत मुश्किल काम होता है. दोनों तरफ से फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी चाहिए होती है, और आई मीन द टीम की तरफ से फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी चाहिए होती है, खुद हम लोगों की तरफ से फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी चाहिए होती है. तो इसमें एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टर्म है जिसको मैं यूज़ बहुत ज़्यादा करता हूँ, वो इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस है. कि आई मीन कंट्रोलिंग योर इमोशंस. आई मीन इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट गेटिंग एंग्री और समथिंग लाइक दैट. वो उस चीज़ के साथ जो है फॉर बोथ द टीम्स एंड द मैनेजर्स वो एक लेकर चलते हैं तो टीम बिल्ड हो जाती है. बट ये कि उसको मेंटेन करना, उसको आगे तक लेके चलना, उसको इंटैक्ट रखना, it's a very difficult part, it's a very challenging part.
Mr. Hamdard.
The team, as I said earlier, team is the most important factor, most important point when you're building a startup. Initially तो आपको 3 से 4 लोग मिलेंगे मैक्सिमम, आपके फ्रेंड्स होंगे जो आप पे बिलीव करते होंगे. वो 2 रीजन से आएंगे आपके पास, या तो वो आपको बिलीव करते होंगे, वो आइडिया को बिलीव करते होंगे, या तो वो बोलेंगे कि यार ये इस बंदे का आइडिया है और मैं इसको भरोसा करता हूँ. So that's one thing. Secondly, when you start building a team, for me at Gurukul, the leadership team जो हमारे साथ काम कर रही है आज, जो teams lead कर रही है, वो एकदम interns है गुरुकुल के. They started off working as interns. They had the passion. We gave them the freedom to come up the ladder and lead teams, and now they have a set of 30 teams under them. So for them and for us, passion has always been one thing which we look forward to. तो आप लोग को अगर मतलब मैं आप लोग को भी यहाँ बोल सकता हूँ कि आप में से किसी को भी इंटर्नशिप करना हो, आप आते हो और आप अपना वर्थ प्रूव करो, कल को you can be the next CMO of Gurukul. That's how we have made the structure look like. So you'll have to for your team, you'll have to make your team understand, make them confident कि उनके लिए आपका venture best उनके लिए क्यों हो सकता है. मतलब I tell this to my team that if you feel that Gurukul is your best option available at stage, then only work with me, or else please go to the option which you feel. So अगर मैं उनको कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं कर पा रहा अपने आइडिया पे, उनको ये नहीं लगता कि वो मेरे साथ अपना बेस्ट काम उनका बेस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी होगी, तो क्या फायदा कंपनी बिल्ड करने का. So first, the most important thing is that your team needs to be the most confident upon you, and you will have to build that ecosystem कि वो team आप पे trust करे, आपके आइडिया पे build trust करे, और अपना बेस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी आपको माने. And that's how I would say that's the best team I would say. अगर वो confident है, अगर वो passionate है, तो आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो. You don't need IIT, IIM degree वाले लोग. I think if you're passionate, you definitely can scale up.
So, from the team of Dhruv Vidyut, either of you, sir, team building.
अभी क्या ना, we would see these founder stories and founder motivation and so on. So what's the similarity there? Always believe in yourself. Never give up. लोगों की मत सुनो. Pursue your dreams. Only you can see your dream, etc., etc. Immediately next day, what we see, there is no I in the word team. लोगों की सुनो, सबको साथ लेके चलना है. ये है वो. Now, what am I supposed to do now? Should I be stubborn? That is required as a founder. Nobody believes you. You believe you. You are pursuing, right? So should I be stubborn, or should I be very, very pliable with everybody? This is the pertinent question that is there. See, initially, you would always see that a founder is always stubborn because he believes, he wants to do it. वो सारे risk ले रहा है, सब पंगा कर रहा है. For what? Because he believes in his product, and for him, external validation doesn't matter. Any success story you read, there's initial part है कि नहीं, I was alone, I was struggling, I was this, right? तो मैं तब सबकी सुन लेते, तो I would have probably given up. Okay, so this is the flip side of the same story. What at an ideation stage you must understand, the initial journey, for a while there will be part that team होती तो अच्छा है, but अगर team नहीं हो रही, let it not be an obstacle. You should have the capability to take it to a certain point. The plus side of the story is for you guys specifically. Let's say you do your post graduation, and now you are in your mid-20s, I guess. Is it mid-20s?
Early 20s.
So early 20s. So by the time your degree ends, you'll be in your mid-20s. Abhi, the people who are like-minded, they've got plenty other options, right? The ones that are going to join you will be just like you. Team building will happen a lot faster with a lot of like-minded people. The ones who did not have this startup mentality, they would have gone somewhere else. Kahin na kahin, kuch na kuch they have done. So that can happen. Don't think too much about it that it is imperative you have to have a team. वो बन जाएगी. There are many ways to do it. Let it not be a deterrent for you right now, because right now founders are going to come from you guys. Entire teams अभी नहीं निकलेंगी 4-5 की. Initially founders आएंगे, they will take the risk. Some people add values. A founder, what happens is, what I personally, what was, because I am stubborn by nature, okay? And I am born, I am perfect than any of you sitting here, right? I am the best. Yeah, I am born like that. So what I learned it the hard way, like even though I am putting X number 15 hours a day, I'm just not able to add value everywhere. So I must get a team, even though I don't like it. That is the way I learned it. Some people will learn it simply. by understanding, okay, we need a team. Any which way a company will reach a point, a team will become imperative. You just can't proceed. So you want to learn the hard way, want to learn the easy way. वो team बन ही जाएगी when you need the team. Initially, founders sitting here, take the step, take the plunge. It will work. Don't wait for a team to form and then take a step. Take a risk. That is why you will be founders, because you took the initial risk, you took the initial step. So that needs to be done by the founder, regardless if the team is there or not. That's my opinion.
I just like to add one point यहाँ पे. आप सब MBA वाले हो भी, आप फर्स्ट ईयर में हो, सेकंड ईयर में हो, आई गेस BBA वाले हो, आप सब कॉलेज में हो. ओके, कॉलेज इज द बेस्ट टाइम टू एक्सपेरिमेंट योर आइडियाज. अगर आपने अभी अपने, सबको पता है यहाँ पे, हम खुद भी जानते हैं और आप भी जानते हो, कॉलेज में बहुत टाइम मिलता है सबको, आपके पास बहुत टाइम होता है. इफ यू आर एक्चुअली एबल टू एक्सपेरिमेंट योर आइडियाज राइट नाउ, बिल्ड एन MVP इन योर कॉलेज डेज, पोस्ट योर कॉलेज, डोंट वेट फॉर दैट टाइम कि हाँ मेरा BBA खत्म होगा तो मुझे टाइम मिलेगा तो मैं आइडिया पे वर्क करूंगा, मेरा MBA खत्म होगा तो मुझे टाइम मिलेगा तो मैं आइडिया पे वर्क करूंगा. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. You talk about most of the founders, they have their ideas when they were into college days. When we were building Gurukul, when I graduated, I had the funds जो हमने raise किया. So I used my college years to actually experiment the ideas, build my team. बहुत लोग रुके, बहुत लोग चले गए, बहुत लोग रुके, फिर बहुत लोग चले गए. आज भी बहुत लोग नए आए हैं और आते जाते रहेंगे. But your college days are the most important days. You have that freedom to experiment, because once you graduate, once you post-graduate, you have the responsibilities from your families, from your peers, financial responsibilities. तब वो शायद आप risk ना ले पाओगे. But अभी वो time है risk लेने का, उसको validate करने का, और college खत्म होते ही उसको full time work करने का उस पे. So yeah, that's one point which I felt helped me as an early advantage and would help all of you.
Well, thank you. So we had some other questions as well, which I think have been answered. But one last thing from the panel, that as Dr. Babar Sahab has suggested, that all the students who have certain ideas in their minds, they can come to the CII's incubation cell, incubation unit of Jamia Hamdard, and they can pitch their ideas and they can then start their journey. So what suggestions this panel would like to give to them? So one suggestion we have got, they have plenty of time, and definitely not just plenty, they have plethora of time that they can utilize. But apart from that, any further suggestion that you'd like to give to them, at least to execute their idea? So anyone can start, maybe TV's team, or just a quick one statement would be.
अभी हमने पूरे कन्वर्सेशन में बात की कि आइडिया आइडिया आइडिया, शायद हमने इसकी बात नहीं की आइडिया आएगा कहाँ से. राइट, द फर्स्ट स्टेप, क्या मेरे को एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना है, हाउ डू आई गेट एन आइडिया. मैं सोच रहा था कि किसी क्वेश्चन में आई पुट अप दीस पॉइंट्स. मैं आइडियाज को दो तरीके से कैटेगराइज करता हूँ. एन अनमेट डिमांड 1, लेटेंट नीड 2. अनमेट डिमांड का क्या मतलब है कि कोई ऐसी डिमांड जिसकी ज़रूरत है हमें, कोई ऐसी डिमांड जिसके मार्केट में ज़रूरत है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ठीक है, मेरा एक आइडिया था, पता नहीं आप लोग किसी को स्टार्टअप करना कर सकते हो. मैं ये फेस कर रहा था बहुत व्हेन आई वाज इन माय स्कूल डेज. यहाँ पे जो हमारी मदर्स होती हैं, हमारे फीमेल सिस्टर्स होते हैं, दे आर वेरी फॉन्ड ऑफ टेलरिंग, राइट, इन द सेंस कि दे वांट वेरी टेलर्ड क्लॉथ्स. हम तो मॉल जाते लेके आ जाते हैं, तो दे हैव देयर रेस्पेक्टिव टेलर्स एंड दे हैव देयर रेस्पेक्टिव, मतलब उनके स्पेसिफिक टेलर्स को किसी और से नहीं करवाते. तो मुझे ना हमेशा मेरे मदर की एक बहुत आई मीन कनेक्टेड टेलर थी जो मेरे घर से अराउंड 10 किलोमीटर दूर रहते थे ना. मुझे हमेशा मम्मी भेजती थी कि जाओ कपड़े लेके आ जाओ, कपड़े लेके आ जाओ. एंड दिस वाज द प्रॉब्लम व्हिच आई फेस्ड कि यार मेरे को बार बार जाना पड़ा देने के लिए भी, बार बार जाना पड़ा लेने के लिए भी. सो आई डोंट, अच्छा ये देन वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ होम मेकर्स एज टेलर्स. मिडिल क्लास फैमिलीज या लोअर मिडिल क्लास फैमिलीज में जो होम मेकर्स, हाउस वाइफ होते हैं, दे वर्क एज टेलर्स फॉर लॉट ऑफ फैमिलीज. सो व्हाई डोंट वी बिल्ड अ प्लेटफॉर्म, मैंने ऐसे नाम रखा है दर्जी उसका, कि यहाँ पे जितने भी होम मेकर्स, दे कैन पुट अप देयर प्रोफाइल लाइक टेंडर, राइट स्वाइप लेफ्ट स्वाइप योर टेलर्स अराउंड योर लोकेशन. मेरा एक आइडिया था कि यार ये एक प्रॉब्लम है जो मैं फेस कर रहा हूँ और ये हर एक फीमेल फेस करती हैं अपने टाइप के टेलर को ढूंढने के लिए. तो इसको मैं अनमेट डिमांड में कैटेगराइज करता हूँ. लेटेंट नीड क्या होता है, कोई ऐसा आइडिया पहले से काम चल रहा है, पहले से ही दुनिया में एक प्रोडक्ट है, बट उसका एक बेटर वर्जन आ सकता है. ऐसा नहीं है कि दुनिया में टैक्सीज नहीं थे बट ओला ऊबर आया, राइट. अभी ओला ऊबर का एक बेटर आइडिया मेरे दिमाग में एक दिन चल रहा था, मैं दुबई का एक बहुत अच्छा आइडिया टैक्सी से, आई वाज थिंकिंग ये बेटर आइडिया इंडिया में इंप्लीमेंट हो सकता है. तो वो लेटेंट नीड में आएगा कि इस आइडिया का एक बेटर वर्जन, मोर इम्प्रोवाइज्ड वर्जन, मोस्ट कॉस्ट एफिशिएंट वर्जन कैन बी अ पार्ट ऑफ the next startup which I want to work upon. So that's a latent need. तो आई थिंक हमने इस पूरे कन्वर्सेशन में हमने बात की कि आइडिया होगा तो क्या करेंगे, आइडिया नहीं होगा तो क्या करेंगे. तो आइडिया ढूंढेंगे, उसको अपने अराउंड सर्वे करेंगे, देखेंगे एटलीस्ट एक सेट ऑफ लोगों से बात करेंगे, उनसे पूछेंगे क्या ये वो लोग भी इस चीज़ का प्रॉब्लम फेस करते हैं, ए बी क्या वो इस प्रॉब्लम इस सोल्यूशन के लिए पे करने के लिए तैयार है. ये आपका सर्वे के क्वेश्चंस होंगे, ये आपको वैलिडेट करने का एक तरीका होगा, एंड देन प्रॉब्ली यू विल गो इनटू developing that and working upon that idea. So yeah, that's one of the points I think we all should work upon when while ideating for a specific product.
Okay, Mr. Asif, just quick, less than 30 seconds. Sorry, I'm restricting you.
Sure. See, idea की बात करें, देखो क्या चल रहा है अभी मार्केट में. Let's take example of environment friendly things. कुछ भी कोई भी काम जिससे आपका environment सही हो सकता है, चाहे वो वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट हो, चाहे वो एयर क्लीनिंग हो, चाहे वो पावर हो, एनर्जी स्टोरेज हो, वॉट एवर इट इज, दिस इज गोइंग टू वर्क. बिकॉज आने वाले टाइम में कहीं भी आप देखो COP 27, COP 26, COP 28, अभी G20 हो रहा है, जितने भी आप कॉन्फ्रेंसेस देखो अभी ग्लोबली सिर्फ एक ही चीज बात हो रही है, दुनिया को कैसे बचाना है. सो देयर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स दैट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. सो थिंक इन दैट मैनर. कोई आइडिया लेकर आइए कि आप किस तरह से बचा सकते हैं दुनिया को. दैट इज गोइंग टू वर्क. एवरीबडी इज हैविंग मनी फॉर दैट. वो काम करेगा आपका.
सर सर या Pitraj?
We'll probably need more than 30 seconds. Should I go or?
Please.
Okay.
You are the guest, sir.
No. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I think it's just summed it up entirely, right? And it's amazing. I was just thinking that he's just saying what I wanted to say, but just in a different language. See, many of us sitting here are wearing specs, right? I mean, but still, you can't guess what I paid for mine, and I can't guess what you paid for yours. Yet everybody, or let's say half of you are using it. This is a prime example of an unorganized market. What did Lenskart do? Nothing. Just organize this. What did Zomato do? Simple. Just organized it. Every large entity now you see is not coming up with groundbreaking ideas. They're just organizing. So, कोई तो problem होगी आपके around which you don't even realize is a problem. It might be something unorganized, right? And that can give birth to your idea. Why can't we just organize this? And hence, once that idea comes in, then you can drop it in those 3 sections. कि क्या आइडिया है, क्या प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहा है और कैसे करना है. It's a very good beginning, and around you, if you have a problem, imagine everybody in every university, in every college, in every state, in every district is facing the exact same problem. So your addressable market is huge. So that can be your stepping stone. What's around you which is bothering you, which you think should be organized? Think about it. Since our host is not here, I can talk a little more. Oh, yeah. So please go ahead, sir.
So the next step is basically the closing of this particular event. I think this particular session and all the panelists provided their insights in the rightful manner, and I think and I hope that you might be having certain other questions in your minds. But most of it, we have seen that our panelists have been very much enthusiastic about discussing their ideas and discussing their insights, what exactly should be done and what exactly should not be done in the field of entrepreneurship and with the startups. So I think we will close this session, but before going to that particular stage of closing, we definitely would like to thank our guests, and for that we would like to felicitate them and present the memento to all our panelists. And for that felicitation, first of all, I'd like to invite Dr. Babar Ali Khan sir to come at the center of the stage. He'd be the person who would be felicitating all our guests. First of all, we'd like to start with Mr. Gur Saurabh Singh sir. Who's taking the pictures? Imanshu? हमारे बच्चे थोड़े ज़्यादा लॉस्ट हो रहे हैं अभी. Thank you, Gursaurav Singh sir, for coming to our campus and providing us with. Sir, we need your support for till the closing. Well, he has requested you. Now, I'd like to invite Mr. Rituraj Singh sir to come up front and receive the. Well, please, take this. Sir, do accept the memento from our side as well. Thank you. Now I'd request Mr. Hamad Shahid to come up front. And Babar sir, I'm not letting you go, please. So. One memento as well, as a token of appreciation. Last, yet the quite impactful personality, Mr. Yasif Iqbal. Please accept the planter and the token of appreciation in the form of memento. Thank you, Babar sir. Now you are free to go. Well, we come to the conclusion of this particular event of panel discussion. Now we can leave our guests to go beyond and do wonders in their ventures. But before that, we would like to ask them to, give us a promise, maybe a pinky promise, that as we are having our incubation center and we might be needing your guidance, all of you, the team of Dhruv Vidyut might support us as well. And maybe later at some point of time, we might bring you on board as advisory member in future. We have that plan on which Babar sir would like to tell as well. And we would like to invite Mr. Yasif and Mr. Hamad as well for that same. And to conclude that, Dr. Babar would be telling us more about it.
Thank you, Dr. Arif. I understand that this is a good opportunity for me to strengthen our center by having the services of all these panelists and experts from the startup people. And I will invite them on behalf of the CIA to be a panel member or mentors in our this center. And for that, I will definitely send you an formal invitation later. I will take the details from you, and I will again request you to be the part of that. Thank you.
So now we conclude here. Thank you everyone for your presence, and a special thanks to the organizer, specifically Dr. Asad Ahmed and Dr. Mohammad Jamshed, along with the MBA senior batch team. Himanshu, thank you for the photographs and backstage team that we have, including Alina, Vanya, and some other people whose name I'm not able to recall right now. Thank you everyone. We'll move on to the next one. Thank you. So,
MBA first semester, please be seated. You're not supposed to leave.
Beta, Alina, Vanya, please help us. Alina, please come forward.
ये सुना ये
सब आएगा।
मैम ऊपर ही आ जाओ।
The people who are participating, please stay और have a quick munch. ठीक है, उसके बाद जल्दी से resume back because हम एक बार रिहर्सल करेंगे यहाँ पे बैठ के, ठीक है? You have a minute. All of you, please stay. We have one more session. We're waiting for you.
नहीं बाबू देना प्लांटर्स
All of you, please stay. Don't go anywhere. We have one more session, please.